the Bay of Pigs veterans, and we said absolutely, we would do that. And so we are inspired by folks that have been willing to stand up and fight for freedom. We understand that they were on the right side of history. So we'll have 3 done today right here, and we have Elie Cesar, who joined Brigade 2506 at 23 years old. Raul Vallejo joined the brigade at 18 years old, and Rigoberto Montesinos, who joined the brigade at 22. And all 3 were captured by Castro's forces and spent 20 months as POWs before their negotiated release in December of 1962. And so we're really honored to be able to have them get the vaccine here today. We will also have other Bay of Pigs veterans and their spouses will receive it in the comfort of their own homes as part of the pilot project to be able to bring vaccines directly to seniors in their home, and I'm really excited to be able to do this. We also are continuing to make more progress in terms of vaccine availability. We got 307,000 for this week that ended I guess today, because we get the new ones later today or tomorrow, and we're going to actually get almost 330,000 for next week. So that's something that's really, really good. We also, because we have some more vaccines that we can put, we're going to do an additional site in Miami-Dade County for underserved neighborhoods. And we're going to announce that within the next day or two, but we're going to try to do 200 seniors a day, 7 days a week, in an area that may not have as many people that have been vaccinated, and that'll be something that'll be very, very important. We also have two major drive-through sites, Marlin Stadium and Hard Rock Stadium. We just doubled the lanes at Hard Rock Stadium, and we're also looking to be able to expand into Miami-Dade County the retail pharmacy program. So we had worked with some of the state's allocations with Publix. Those were generally in counties that didn't have as much healthcare infrastructure as Miami-Dade, and so we focused on high percentages of seniors, more mid-sized counties. Palm Beach was the first really big county we've done. It's been very, very successful. Palm Beach, we have over 40% of the seniors that have gotten shots, and I think Palm Beach per capita is probably one of the top performing counties because it was in 67 Publixes right in Palm Beach County. So the federal government, and we've been waiting for when this was going to happen, they have a pharmacy program that they have been telling us for many weeks now they were going to turn on. These are doses that are over and above what the state's allotment from the federal government is. So if we're getting 325,000 doses, that'll be distributed. The pharmacy will be on top of that, and so it doesn't come out of our allocation. So we think that that's something that's really exciting. So we're going to be making announcements on where those are, but we are going to be continue with Publix, but we're also going to be doing Walmart, which is something that's in a lot of communities. And actually, there's some communities that don't have a Publix, but that do have a Walmart, and we're working with Walmart to be able to make the announcements. But clearly, because we did the Publix in some of the smaller or medium-sized counties and didn't get it into Dade, we're definitely going to get retail pharmacy into Miami-Dade County. So we'll have an announcement on that, but I think that's another way where seniors will be able to access the vaccine. We're about 1.5 million reported seniors have received at least one dose. For about 3 million total doses that have been administered. Of course, the reporting's lags on this by many days, so we're probably well over 1.5 million seniors, which is, we're a third or more of the seniors in Florida have gotten one shot. And of all the vaccines that have been administered, we're close to 75% of all vaccines that have been administered have gone to senior citizens. That is prioritizing the right groups. That is focusing on where the risk is. And we have more seniors vaccinated in Florida than any other state by far, and we're going to continue to do it. And I think some of these additional retail options are going to be very, very good for that. Of course, we're still doing the church groups. I was at a Turnberry Jewish Center, Aventura Turnberry Jewish Center last week. We did an interfaith alliance with Christian, Muslim, and Jewish houses of worship, and we're going to continue doing that. We've also done pods in senior communities. So we were in, actually we had one in Broward last week. We were in Sun City Center over in the Tampa area. We've done it in the villages. Actually, we did Kings Point up in Delray Beach. So when you have high concentrations of seniors, we can go in, set up. let thousands of people come in over a few days and really get a lot done very, very quickly. We also, I'm a little disappointed, quite frankly, we're excited about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which will be able to add our capacity to be able to administer vaccines. I'm a little bit perplexed as to why they would set the end of February as the date to be able to make this decision. We already have data coming in. They filed an application for emergency use. We understood it wasn't going to be like a 24-hour process, but they've set the date for the very end of February. I think that in these times, working around the clock is something that you should be doing to be able to get these things approved as soon as possible. So hopefully there's a way they'll be able to approve it before then, because this is like almost 4 weeks that they will have allowed this to go, and I think we want to get the J&J. So the question with J&J, one dose, which is very good. You don't have to get a booster shot. You don't have to freeze it, so it can be in normal refrigeration. It could be in a doctor's office. It could be wherever you want. I think it's something that will have universal application. The efficacy, I think, has actually been undersold. It's 66% against infection, but after 28 days, it was 100% prevention of death and hospitalization, which is really what we're, I think, really looking at here. So that's going to be a good tool, and I think the question is, when are they going to do the EUA, and is there any way they could do it sooner? But then once they do it, whatever is available will ship the next day, but how much is that? Is that 1 million for the whole country? Is it 10 million for the whole country? If it's something along the lines of 10 million, Florida's share would be pretty meaningful. If there's only 1 million doses, I mean, we would obviously use whatever they gave us, but it wouldn't be quite the game changer right off the bat. We also are watching Pfizer with the increased production and some of the things that they have said by May. If we start getting more and more Pfizer, we have a lot of capacity to store it in the -70. I mean, people have these freezers, people have invested in them, and we'll be able to put that to good use. So we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye out for that. But I think what's going to happen is when all the vaccines got dumped in Christmas time, obviously the hospitals were doing what they were doing, but they didn't really pick up until the new year. So initially it was like, okay, there's these vaccines, they should all be going. Then things started picking up, and you were doing 350, 400, 450 a week of initial doses, but the supply was not 350, 400, 450. It was about 250,000 a week. We were getting 266. Now we're finally over 300. So you have a lot of demand, and the supply isn't quite there. But what's happening is, as more and more seniors get the shot, it softens the demand a little bit. We still have a lot of people on the website and everything, don't get me wrong. But I think what will happen is, as we get through more and more seniors, you'll see the demand start to soften. If you start getting more and more Pfizer coming in and you get Johnson & Johnson, then all of a sudden you're going to be getting more and more doses. And so it will probably be a little easier to be able to get these appointments. And I think for seniors, there'll be more availability. Then once that demand signal is a little softer, then you look at expanding this into other segments of the population. But our view is seniors first. We're not going to rest until every senior that wants a shot gets a shot. I think we'll be able to, if we can continue to get 300,000+, if we do get J&J, if we get some more Pfizer and the federal pharmacy program on top of all of this, we're going to be in much better shape in terms of the supply than we were a couple weeks ago. So all in all, I think that this has been something that's given people a lot of hope. Of course, if you look at the COVID metrics nationwide, I mean, it's going down all across the country, which is a really good sign. In Florida, I mean, we've had, I think, a 25, 30, 35%, something pretty steep drop in the COVID patients being treated in Florida hospitals statewide. And even in Miami-Dade, I think the hospital census for COVID reached about half of what it was over the summer when we went through the winter season with this. And so I think folks here have done a really good job. So I think there's a lot to be excited about. We just got to keep plugging away. This program is another way that we're trying to do it. Go to churches, go to synagogues. We were out at Pahokee in western Palm Beach County visiting an underserved community. We have retail sites. Hospitals are still doing a lot. And if you look, the hospitals are doing a lot of the second doses now because those are coming due. So you're doing 50, 60,000 second doses a day, which is really, really good. So we're running the gamut on this, and we're going to continue to do it until our seniors get what they need. But I'm excited to be able to be here and to see these shots go. So do we have Moderna or Pfizer? Pfizer. Okay, so they're going to all get their shot, and then we'll make sure that you get the appointment for 21 days to be able to get the booster shot. So do you guys want to go ahead and do the thing? I guess they've already signed their consent forms, so they're ready to go with that. And now I guess you guys are ready to do the poking. Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, this is much better than mine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Governor, thank you so much for being here and all the help you give in Miami.
Yeah, of course.
You've taken the right approach. We absolutely support your seniors first. You know, we got the majority of seniors in all of Miami-Dade right here in the city of Miami, in this district. They're represented. So, all the help you can give us, we'd be very grateful.
We're going to do Stevie.
Cantando motores.
Oye, ¿por qué tú no pones una inyección también? ¿Por qué tú no pones una inyección?
No.
These guys can handle a lot more.
Does that sound right? Sound good? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sign this. This is saying that you got the vaccine. Okay, my friend?
Your name was ringing loud this morning.
It's ringing all over. They told me that shit.
Estaban dándose banquetes.
Pero los dos personajes que están
No.
What kind of good is this to me?
Eso sí me rollo. She's a fighter.
Free.
Yo te voy a quedar arriba, seguro. Probably in a couple of weeks. se me protege porque yo me descarrilo un poco. Sí, sí.
Coño, gracias, tú hiciste posible esto.
Amén. Gracias.
They've been great. Are you ready? You and me, baby.
So it's basically the same play, and it's great.
Peregrito de medio.
Déjame quitarme de medio porque ¿quién están tirando fotos? Hola.
You can say no to that one. No. But it does everything. It does everything the bill wants. She apparently, so it's great for us. It's a great thing.
Yeah. So we already have you saw 3 shots. It's great. They're already in the field visiting the seniors in their homes, the Bay of Pigs veterans and their spouses. So we really appreciate it. I also want to thank all the folks here. We got Vance. We've got Rizzo, Diaz. Yeah. Where's Manny Diaz? Isn't here? No. Okay. We got Steve Bovo. Are you going to run for mayor of Hialeah? Should he run? I'll support him if he runs. So go ahead and throw your hat in the ring. So good.
Just got announced.
Yeah. So good. All right. You guys have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Questions about the rollout, because so many people are still waiting for so many different numbers for you. You said 307,000 last week and 330,000 next week. Is that this week that we're beginning now?
So basically, the 300, I think it's 325,000 is the allotment we got from the federal government that's going to arrive Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, right? So obviously if it arrives on Tuesday, by the time you're not going to put it in arms until Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, depending on where it's going. So what we're using right now for the initial doses is still that 307,000 dose that we got. That 325 is going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and throughout that time period.
And one more, you said 200 seniors a day. Are those new homebound seniors countywide?
Oh, so on the underprivileged neighborhood one, that is specifically bringing in, so it'll be probably a pod into a community that has not had as many access to vaccines. We've tried to get at this with the churches and some of that other stuff, but what we found is, look, we were in Pahokee, we did it, it was really good, so we said, let's just try to get some more. So Miami-Dade's going to be one, and we're going to do a few more throughout the state, so we'll have those details announced in a minute. Yes, sir.
Governor, on the UK strain, has there been any discussion about allocating some of these vaccines to parts of the state where we're starting to see a growing number of this strain? That's something that the former commissioner has kind of flouted as maybe being done in Southern California.
So in terms of the strain, I think that, look, obviously this is a dynamic situation. You've got to be able to make decisions, and sometimes you may have to adjust. The adjustments we've been making are finding areas where the senior population has gotten a smaller percentage than we would like. And so of this coming dosage, some of the counties and the state sites are going to get plus. Many of them are getting plussed up, but the ones that are getting plussed up more are the ones that had the percentage of seniors vaccinated at like 18 or 19%. Like I said, I mean, there's some that have over 50% of seniors, some counties. Palm Beach has 1.5 million people, and they have 40-some% of their seniors. We have some other places that have 18, 19, 20%. So that's kind of how we've done it, and I think that that's what we want to see. We want to see as many seniors as possible. If there's a recommendation of that, then obviously that we can look at it. Everything I've been told, though, is that these different strains, particularly for an mRNA virus, which is what the Pfizer and Moderna are, that it still has the same impact and the same effect. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, exactly. So basically, that was why we wanted to do the homebound. You know, if you're 65 and vigorous, which many of our 65-year-olds, thank God, are, getting in the car and going, and you could drive across town. Some people are even going to different counties because they want the vaccine so bad, and that's totally fine. But you have some of these folks in their late 80s who may not be as comfortable doing that, and we got to figure out a way to get in. Now, some hospital systems, to their credit, have been doing this from day one. And I really appreciate that. But when we get requests, we say we're going to do it. So we've been able to do a bunch of Holocaust survivors, now brigade veterans, and we're going to continue to do more. I'll have some more announcements about some of the other stuff that we're going to be doing over the next, yes, sir? No, I know. Well, that's why we're doing it. I mean, that's why we're doing it. And as I said, it's when you're talking about seniors first, it's the right thing to do given how this virus behaves with different ages. But it's also the right thing to do to honor our elders. These are folks who, in this case, have put their lives on the line to defend freedom against communism. Whether you have the World War II veteran I was with a couple weeks ago that put his life on the line to defeat Nazi tyranny, or whether you have somebody like the Holocaust survivor I was with who had her whole family completely eliminated through the reign of terror by Nazi Germany. She was a 6-year-old orphan, and luckily taken in by a Catholic priest and eventually made it to America. So these are folks that we draw inspiration from, and it's the right thing to do. Medically, it's the right thing to do, but morally, it's the right thing to do. All right, I'm going to be back soon. I got to run to my next.